Hi everyone. So it is late on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Earlier today, I logged onto my account and saw a massive influx in views and comments, and I just wanted to hop on here and say, first of all, thank you so much. And also just wanted to make a quick video. I actually tried making a longer video earlier today, but my phone is not cooperating with me, nor is my editing software, and I am very inept. So, at least like technologically, I have other skill sets, but not quite that. So, instead, I'm just going to try to get out a quick video, acknowledge all the wonderful conversations happening in the comments below. And hope that you will stick around for a little bit. I am hoping to do some videos on her Medium article, her most recent Medium article, the response articles, and like the motions to quash, getting a little deeper into it. And I also hear people asking for a timeline. I will definitely work on that over this holiday break. That will be a little bit more time intensive for me, and I'm gonna have to kind of make a roadmap and really get down to editing on a computer and stuff like that. Anyway, I wanted to take this second because I highly suspect that the Laura Owens is in the room with us right now, and take an opportunity to have a compassionate response right now, which is not always easy, especially in moments like these, which I can feel very emotionally charged, as a woman that has experienced abuse as a child, who has been raped, as a woman who fights for the equality of, the general term woman, in intersectionally in every way possible, who is a pro-choice advocate and everything. I feel that around the discussion of this topic, that there is a very, important voice missing in the conversation, and that's a woman. As someone who's such an advocate and, like I said earlier, someone who's a feminist and says it with their chest, and isn't afraid to say that controversial word despite the eye rolls that it might get, I also have a heart that is very driven by justice and doing right. And that means that also calling attention to women that hinder our fight for equality, and to negate all the victims and survivors out there of abusers and manipulators and stuff like that. Now, am I saying that's exactly what's going on in the situation here? Absolutely not. I am here just to present to you the information that I find that is a result of Laura Owens' public posts, Clayton Echard's public posts, some of Reality Steve and Dave Neal's communications, and my opinion. And we all know that opinions are like assholes. We all have them, and we really don't care to see everyone's, right? So if you don't want to hear mine, that's fine. I totally get it. Appreciate it, and you can move on. I do want to be extremely clear, though, that my goal here is to never be harassing, anything like that. Think of this as constructive feedback. Just because someone is saying something negative about you doesn't mean that they can be silenced. We all have to come to terms and come to grips with that, right? So I just wanted to say, as an open letter, to people watching this and to the person watching this who I know will, it's not too late to apologize, to come clean. It's also not too late to just completely dampen the flames on this and just completely extinguish all of this, all of the talk. It's easy. It really takes just the most mildest amount of effort from you. And I know that a lot of men have offered to be that platform, but as someone who, I saw your TED Talk, Laura, and if that is something that has happened to you, I understand why you might have some apprehensions with men. So if you would want to speak to a woman or share your story or provide proof, that's an option. I am empathetic to the struggles we face as women, but the reality is that the evidence as we know it is not pointing towards this being factual or based in reality, and it's hurting a lot of people financially, stress, and this control need for control has got to stop. It's not only hurting other people, but it's actively poisoning you too. It's going to affect you in every day of your life. There's no point in spending all your time and effort in the court system as a source of retribution for rejection. Okay? And although there's been a lot of hurt and damage done here, you can stop it all quickly. You can either put it to bed and just have an easy confirmation of pregnancy. You're 30 weeks pregnant or so. You should be having twins in the next 2 months, less than 2 months, 6 weeks, girl. You should be planning baby showers. You should be taking maternity photos. This incessant obsession and wanting to create the narrative, and even if you are pregnant, you can't control what people say about you, and the more you do, the more fires you create. Hell, if you really think you could control how people talk about you, do you not think Donald Trump would have done that several years ago and shut everyone up completely, no criticism allowed, whether it's based on emotion or facts? That's part of growing up, is hearing hard things about yourself and sitting with yourself and reflecting about what you don't like about yourself, and maybe why you look at other people with disdain and bitterness and judgment, because it's coming from somewhere from within. It's not easy to sit there and feel that and experience it, but you have to grow, to get better. It's time to be independent, hold yourself accountable, and stand behind what you did. Because I guarantee you there's always room for forgiveness. And you might not get everyone's forgiveness, but you will gain some respect and really finding the courage to speak the truth and to come clean. Or finding the courage to stop, allowing this shit to be stirred, and by putting your foot down and having a definitive moment of proof. It should be so easy, and it will help you sleep better at night. It'll help you breathe better. It'll help the ears, your shoulders fall away from your ears. No matter what, if you are the person that is being maligned and you truly are the victim here, you have an option. If you're being dishonest, you also have an option. There's no dead end here. The only dead end is if you continue to ride out this narrative and try to go to court and try to make this all go. The walls will continue to close in. It's called the Streisand effect, right? The more you try to shut something down, the bigger that fire burns. None of this is threat. None of this is spoken from a place of ill will. I'm just being real with you. Listen, I'm not someone who speaks in innuendos or you have to read between the lines with. I've always sucked at that. I'm a straight shooter, for better or for worse. What I say comes from my heart. It's what I mean. And there's no flowery language around it. Can all do better. If you look at my few videos on this channel, I'm willing to call people out on both sides. That's what I'm here for. I'm justice oriented. And I just want this to resolve. Because if it's negative and this is all a ruse. This is the kind of damage that breaks women's movements down, or that people who are anti-feminist point to as evidence as to why we don't deserve, or why women can't be trusted, or why this person is questioned, or why that victim is dragged through the fucking ringer. And I can't stand for that. And I have no hate in my heart, but I do feel fiery about what's right and what's wrong. I'm not a misandrist. But to allow things like this to happen without speaking on them is a form of misandry. Dave Neal and Reality Steve have done a lot to speak out about this conversation, and I have a lot of respect from how I've heard Dave Neal speak about the situation. He's been very nuanced, and I think the article published that just beats on Dave is just so shameful, because he is very, in my opinion, from what I listen, y'all, I hear dog whistles all the time. I pick up on them, and I'll be real, the people that I am listening to most intently are the white men, and Dave is very, very tapped in and empathetic to struggles of people of all different colors, sexualities, backgrounds. He's a good one. Now, he might say some jokes that hurt your feelings, and I can't deny that. That's all a matter of personal preference. But I see a man who tries to be a better man, who, is informed on women's issues and is sensitive to them, is non-judgmental, seems to lift women up as a generality. And then to have someone lobby baseless threats like revenge porn on him boils my blood, because now you're taking down innocent people and you're maligning men completely unrelated to the apparent situation you're alleging. And you're going to tie that to him. That phrase will be paired with him, even though it's erroneous. That photo was from a public Dropbox with your name attached to it. And it wasn't porn. But you used that. And that's why it's hard to listen to all of your allegations, when I can look at something like you accusing Dave Neal of revenge porn and see the malicious intent. That is fucking awful. What was the point of that? Ask yourself, Laura. That is ugly. That's serious. That could get in the way of him getting gigs. That accusation in and of itself, I mean, I feel like Dave could have ran and tried to drum up a defamation lawsuit, because that could totally fuck with him getting gigs in the future. Because now you're using language that will make him appear predatory, and that's what I don't fuck with at all. At all. And that's shameful. And I think you know better. So beyond the whole pregnancy thing, I do have definitive proof that what you did there is wrong, and was with bad intentions. And you twisted and pretzeled yourself into a contortionist trap to paint him that way. And that was gross. It was really, really awful. But there's still an option for you. The most awful people in the world who have done awful things come forward with true intentions to reconcile and to atone. And there can be better days. But what you can't do is make it go away, because you didn't want it to go away, and that's why it's here, because you ran to the press and you wouldn't let it go, and you keep dragging people through the court system. if it really bothers you so much, it can really be resolved so very quickly. And I hope that if it is something you can resolve so quickly, you do it for the sake of you, for your peace, for your health, for your happiness, for your growth. Sincerely, Laura. I want nothing more than for you to no longer have the stress, for your family to not have the stress. Nothing. For you not to have the financial burden to be, or the time required to do this stuff. May whatever is true come to light. And that's that. All right, folks. I'm gonna step aside for the night. This is Chubby Von Doobie. After a contemplative day, and very grateful for your support. I will be making more videos. They probably will be longer, but I'm realizing I really need to sit down and focus on how to make the story told correctly, because I think it is so important. And my offer remains that if Laura wants to be honest and real and share that, there's messages here and there's comments, but I have no interest in being threatened. I have no interest in being bullied and harassed. It doesn't need to happen. None of this calls for it. It'll all be okay regardless for everyone. The truth will come to light. And I hope everyone who celebrates has had a fantastic Christmas season. And for those who have other holidays like Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I hope y'all are enjoying your festivities or your preparations for your festivities. That'll come shortly. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night.